Hi, good morning everyone. So welcome to the Singapore's Esports Cycling Individuals National Championships Finals. And today we are starting off with men's youth. So today's map is the Big Loop. Okay, it's from Training Peaks Virtual with 25.2 kilometers and 160 meter of elevation. Okay, so this will be a very interesting race because the riders have actually completed two qualifying races before they are selected for the finals. So we have the best of the best amongst the youth, which is 13 to 16 years old in Singapore today. Okay, so maybe we can have a quick introduction of the riders list. Okay, so with the riders today, we have rider number 1, Emil from Team Garcia. Okay, rider number 2, Zihao from Team Garcia. Okay, Jackson as an individual rider. Oxford, from Specialized Mavericks. Kaiser from VSG Academy. Okay, Sean, he's not here today because he couldn't make it. Kino from VSG Academy. Colin from Team Garcia. Tiger from VSG Academy. Jay from Team Garcia. Jacob from Singapore Sports School. And Brandon, who is absent today. And lastly, Eden, our youngest rider from VSG Academy. Okay, so maybe while the team is setting up outside, we are trying to see whether we can get everybody to introduce the riders to see how they actually look like before we start the race. We have 6 minutes and 47 seconds more. And as you can see today, it will be a few punchy hill. And now I think we are about to go live with the room cam outside. So here you can see that's Eden, our youngest rider for the day. He's in VSG Academy currently. And then now moving on, I think let's go one rider by one rider if possible.
Go rider by rider.
Okay, so we are trying to set up the room cam so that we can show each of the rider face.
Go rider by rider. So yeah.
Okay, so here as you can see here is Eden, who is the youngest rider for the day. He's only 13 years old, and behind him, bike number 2,
Behind
that's Emil from Team Garcia. Emil is one of the hot favorite for today. I think he could potentially podium and might even be champion. Then let's now go to bike number 4 on the right. Okay, this is Jackson. So Jackson is an individual rider. He's riding for himself, one of the hot favorite as well for today. Jackson is 16 years old. Okay, and we see whether is there anyone in bike number 3. Yeah, I think the bike number 3 rider went to the toilet, so we'll come back to him later. So next we have Kaiser on bike number 6. He's from VSG Academy. I think he just finished his N level. So now he's just coming back into racing. One of the hot favorites as well, very light, very good climber. And then next, let's move on to the next rider. Okay, so I think that's Colin from Team Garcia. Yeah, so that's VSG number 8, rider number 8 for Colin, that is in white. And then on the right of Colin, that's Jay from Team Garcia as well. So many of the Team Garcia riders today. CJ is actually doing his warm-up. We'll see how it goes afterwards. And then let's see whether are there any other riders out there in the room that we can introduce. No, I think the rest are all in the washroom. Okay, so maybe we'll come back to them. Oh, there he is, the man, Mr. Oxford, who just went from Team Garcia to Specialized Mavericks. So he will be the hot favorite as well for this time to see whether he can actually get a win from for the Team Mavericks for today. Okay, so I think everybody is ready. They have tested their bike. They are ready to start. We are starting in 4 minutes. And maybe let us now go back to the game itself, and then we'll briefly introduce the route to everybody. Okay, and then now on the scene that you see on the bottom is the profile of the map. So although it's very short, I think 25 km, they will take probably 40 minutes, half an hour to 40 minutes to finish, depending on how fast the pack goes. There's a few punchy route. So the whole elevation is actually not a lot. It's less than 200 meters of elevation, which is about, let's say, less than 3 times of Faber. but there's a lot of punchy hill. We can see at the bottom, there's at a 0 km mark, there's straight away an uphill of let's say about 3 to 5% gradient, followed by a downhill, and then about let's say 4 to 5 punchy hill before an uphill finish. So I think in this very punchy route, the riders who will actually do very well are those that can kind of sustain multiple efforts of let's say 3 to 4 minutes VO2 max output. And to be honest, I think the youth riders themselves, they haven't really gone through a lot of structured training. Even those riders from VSG Academy, they are actually fairly new today. And then we'll see actually how it goes for them for this race itself. So we are about 2 more minutes away from start and a total of 11 riders. And anyway, if you see on the screen itself, the riders, although they are riding different bikes, but we have neutralized the bikes in this event. So the whether they are riding a disc wheel or rather they are riding a carbon bike or alu bike, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. And now we have our director Fitra, who is coming into the live stream room. Fitra, do you want to tell us more about how's NS life so far?
Road cycling.
Yeah. So anyway, we're just gonna get started in about 1 minute and 10 seconds. So now we are about 10 more seconds to go, and we can see that they are actually going quite fast outside, if you can hear, and the race is off. So now I think the strategy of some might be to go very hard at the start, but I think I heard earlier that some of them might want to initiate a breakaway. Once a breakaway is formed, it's practically quite hard to actually catch them back from this race itself, because whoever can climb those punchy uphill first, they will actually go very far. So here itself in the first race, as you can see leading at the front, we have Kino from VSG Academy, Oxford, Kaiser, Colin, Jackson, Tiger, etc. The pack is still fairly much together. I think there's only one rider that's left behind, that's Eden. As you can see, he's group number 2 now, 13 seconds behind, but anyway, kudos to Eden because he's the youngest rider. He's just 13 years old this year, and he's also the smallest, so it's natural that, and he weighs only about 35 kg, so it's normal that he won't be able to keep up with the peloton for now. And then now we are actually seeing that the pack is still going strong together. They have crested over the first small uphill of about 4 to 5% gradient. They are now going on the downhill, and then soon they'll hit the rest of the uphill as well. Yeah, so the Jackson is at the start now. He's just in front, just slightly ahead of the pack. If I'm Jackson, maybe I'll just keep it a bit more conservative, because it's not about who reaches the hills first, but more about who has the most energy. So we'll see how it goes for the rest of riders, but pretty much they are all still together in the same pack, and they are descending now. So you can see Jackson, he's still taking it chill and easy. Yeah, and then now they are, after the uphill is a great slight, after the downhill is a slight uphill, very gentle, 3 to 6% maximum, so shouldn't be an issue for the rider. they shouldn't even feel the uphill at this point in time. Yeah, and then now we see that the riders, that they are all still in the same pack, going together, going strong. Okay, so let's now talk about the riders that we know. So here, I think some of the hot favorites, Emil, I think Jackson is also a hot favorite. Jackson came in, I think, first in the qualifiers for the inter-school that we had about 2 to 3 months ago. And then now Oxford, who has just moved over to Specialized Mavericks, I think there's a high expectation of him to see how he will actually deliver for the rest of the Mavericks team. To be honest, I think the action will only start actually on the third and the fourth uphill itself. So tactics wise, I think the youth, they are fairly new in terms of racing. I don't know how many people will actually initiate a breakaway, but we'll see how it goes. But I think, as you can see eventually later at the room camp, that within the room itself, they are still pretty much keeping it together. And I think, to be honest, I'm very proud of how the youth have came so far. Most of them are actually about 14, 15, and I think Singapore cycling scene has actually developed quite a lot since a couple of years ago. Now we have much more youth racing. Some of these youth can actually battle the juniors and even the adults during the weekly rides. Okay, and as you can see now, the atmosphere in the room, everybody is serious. I don't think anybody is gasping for air. Everybody is still taking it chill. We see some shaking motion from Oxford. I think he's going for it. He's going for it now, but I don't know, is it because he just pedaled too hard, but is going to a downhill now, so he'll be caught quite easily actually. And now we see now Jackson coming forward. Is going down. I think Jackson, because he's one of the heavier riders, so he might be faster when going downhill. So now ahead we have actually Jackson and Oxford, just slightly ahead of the main pack, which is 1 second behind. You can see. Eventually, if they don't go and follow in the next uphill, then highly likely the breakaway might then form. So we have Jay in front as well currently in the pink rider Jay. And then the riders behind, as you can see, the first pack has actually formed with about J and 7 other riders. So these 2, 4, 6, 8, actually 8 riders will together form the breakaway pack, and then the rest of the rider will likely be unable to catch up with the main pack, because I think in the group 2 there's only Jacob and somebody else behind. I think it's Jacob and Tiger behind. So here we can see that the main pack now has the front breakaway has 8 riders, comprising of Jackson, Kino, Emil, Kaiser, Oxford, Colin, Jay, and Zihao. So unless Tiger and Jacob, can we look at Tiger and Jacob? So unless Tiger and Jacob can actually breach before the uphill, which is very hard, it is highly likely that they might be behind the rest of the pack. Yeah. So the gap is actually increasing, as you can see, 6 seconds. So it's highly unlikely that they can actually catch up. So if they don't do it now, they don't work together to catch up, it's almost impossible to actually breach later on. So well done to Tiger and Jacob. Jacob from Singapore Sports School, I think he specializes in triathlon, so I think cycling is more like a side hustle to him. Tiger, he's one of our new boy in the VSG Academy. So you see Tiger is actually still taking it easy on the camera. Tiger going easy, and actually on his right that is Jacob. So they should actually start bridging now, because the gap has increased to 10 seconds already. So let us bring over to Jacob and see how Jacob looks like. And then well done to Jacob and Tiger. So we'll see how it goes for the two of them. And let us move back to the main pack in front. So going back to the front pack, they are still pretty much grouped together. So they have eliminated 2 riders. There is, you see, they are just over the third uphill, and they are going to a slight downhill before they climb again. But I don't think there will be any like actions actually in this climb because it's too gentle. So I think the next climb, the two other punchy one will be interesting later around the 7.5 to 10 km mark. So all the riders are still together, they are still going strong, and then we have 8 riders together: Jackson, a lone rider, Zihao, Team Garcia, Kino, VSG, Emil Garcia, Jay Garcia, Oxford Mavericks, Kaiser, VSG, and Colin Garcia. So the riders here are all together. Okay, so I don't know whether has Team Garcia came out with any strategy, but I think it'll be fun if they can actually play some team tactics where they initiate like a breakaway and see how the rest will actually react to burn out the matches of the other riders. But because they are still fairly new to racing, so I think the men's youth, they're still actually tactics wise, I think it'll be fairly straightforward for this race. So as you can see here now, they have just crested the 4th uphill for the day. Not actually very important, as in not very difficult. They are going down the downhill. So the riders are still bunched up pretty much together. Okay, so I think the podium positions will come from this pack. And then as you can see, the riders are still going strong together. And then ahead, slightly ahead is Jackson, just because he's one of the heavier riders, so naturally he will actually be the first when they go downhill. And then we are followed by Oxford, Emil, and Kino at the front. Okay, so I think the riders are still fairly bunched up. I think hopefully we get to see some action in the next 2 uphill. I think it'll be interesting to see who will actually do the breakaway. Because after that it'll be actually a long flat route of about, let's say, maybe 10 km before they actually go uphill again. So if the breakaway was to form, then it has to be in the next 2 uphill. Otherwise it might be a sprint finish. Okay, and then we can see now, and then in the game itself, Jackson is still at the front. And looking at him in the room, he's still taking it easy. So look at his face, calm, relaxed, breathing very slightly. Okay, the pace is going very well for him. So I guess there's still some matches in him. The rest of the riders, actually you can see Kaiser is rocking a bit, opening up his mouth for breath. So I think you can quite easily see who is the more tired rider, in the scene itself. And now back at the game itself, we have the riders still bunched up together, and they are going to start the 5th uphill for today. So it's a very gentle uphill of about 3 to 4% average gradient. It shouldn't be, I don't think they can actually tell that they're going uphill unless somebody really punches on the uphill, because it's really very gentle. After this, they go down, the number 6 uphill, the next one will actually be a bit more tricky and will be a bit more difficult, because the gradient will likely go up to about 7 to 8%. Okay, so you see that they are going to crest over the uphill for now, and the pack is still bunched up together. No actions, nothing much at the moment. Okay, so I think honestly I'm hoping for a breakaway, to see some action, so that the riders can actually break away and make this race a bit more interesting. Okay, so then now the riders are still all bunched up together. As you can see in the game, nobody is really making any move. We'll have to wait for the riders to see if anybody will initiate a breakaway at the next uphill. Otherwise it'll be most likely a sprint finish, because of the profile of the route. Between 10 km to about 20 km, there is really very flat and almost impossible to create a breakaway. Okay, we can see that the riders are going downhill now on the map. Okay, and you can see we have Zihao there, and then Zihao, he's still taking it easy, still bunched up in the main pack as well. And then now the riders are actually still going down, and they will start their ascent soon. Okay, so on the top right hand corner you can see that they have about 17 km to go, so they have spent They have actually finished about 8.2 km, so actually the race is only just getting started. I really don't know, and I hope somebody will make a move here so that the race has something more interesting to see. Yeah, so Jackson is now at the front. Yeah, so Jackson is at the front, but it doesn't look like he's actually making any move. They are halfway through this uphill. The gradient is about 3 to 4%, and then now they have reached a flat section with a slight downhill before they finish the climb. So they are still playing it quite conservatively. They are all bunched up together, but it seems that now we have someone who is making a move. The pink rider, that is actually Jay. Jay, well done Jay. Let's see how we can go. So I think Jay is making a move. He is actually 3 seconds ahead of the peloton. Is that a team tactics by Team Garcia? Is that a decoy for somebody to chase, or does Jay wanted to break away? Okay, we'll see how it goes. We have behind him Emil, just 2 seconds behind, followed by Jackson. So Jay, you can see Jay, he's putting in the effort, all sweaty over him, bobbing his head. He's going in deep and he's now going into the downhill. So Jay, you can see the numbers turning red on most of the riders in the game. On the right hand side, Jay, Emil, Oxford, Zihao, Jackson, Kaiser, Kino, some actions going over there. Will Jay get caught by the peloton? We don't know. He's only 2 seconds ahead of his teammate. So let's look at Emil, the second rider. So Emil, he's only 1 second ahead of the chasing group behind. So it's likely that he will be caught up. And will the whole group be able to catch up with Jay? We'll see how it goes. Yeah, and you can see here on the screen, that's Emil. Okay, Emil, one of the promising rider from Singapore itself. Although his nationality is not Singaporean, but he certainly brought a lot of competition here to our youth in Singapore. And then now we can see that Jay will be caught back by the peloton shortly with a 1 second gap. But still well done on the breakaway effort. It's definitely difficult to try and break away with that short runway to go, because I think he only started the breakaway on the second part of the hill, so naturally and the rest are going downhill and he's not the heaviest rider, so it will almost be quite easy for the rest to actually catch up with him. Okay, and now we are back together with the group. It's the same rider, but we see that there's actually Kino that has dropped. Maybe let us click on Kino itself. So Kino VSG 13. Yeah, so Kino VSG 13. Kino, I think he is on his own now. Okay, well done to Kino. He wouldn't be able to catch up with the rest already, I think. And then so well done to Kino. So now I think it's for him to finish the race strong. And then behind Kino, that's Colin as well, followed by Tiger. And then now we'll look at Kaiser on the game. So Kaiser VSG 06, he is just at the back of the peloton. He's probably hanging on for his dear life. If he don't close this gap, he will never make it back to the main pack. So the gap is actually 1 second behind to the next rider Zihao. So you can see Kaiser, he's bobbing his head, he's shaking. He's gonna make it back to the peloton or not, I don't know. But if he doesn't do it now, it's now or never. So let's hope that he will make it back. And then yes, so Kaiser has bridged back to the main pack. Okay, so the main pack now together itself, there's a total of 6 riders: Zihao, Emil, Jay, Kaiser, and Jackson. So these 6 riders, there's actually very little room for elimination anymore already. So I think the next uphill will be too gentle. The final uphill, maybe it's an uphill sprint finish. So we will see how it goes. So I think the riders, if I'm them, I will keep my legs, for the last uphill sprint finish. So I don't think there'll be any more further breakaway until the final race itself, as in the final sprint itself. So the riders are still going strong. The Zihao, Jay, Jackson, Emil, Oxford, and Kaiser. Yeah. So the riders have completed 11.8 km. They are slightly approaching the halfway mark with 13.4 km to go. The route, to be honest, going forward here will be fairly flat until about 23 km. So I think it will be a bunch effort for now. And whether anyone will actually make a move at the next uphill, we don't know, because to be honest, I don't think the men's youth they really analyze the maps and read the map, so they might not even know that there's an uphill coming up, although they can actually see it in the screen itself. Yeah. So now let's look at the status in the room. So everybody is actually going very strong. Okay, Oxford taking it easy, looking at his opponent. And then we have Tiger here, and we just passed Jacob and Kino, the last rider, here on the screen. Okay, the atmosphere here is great in the room itself. Okay, now moving back to the game, we can see that the riders are still pretty much bunched up together for the leading pack. So the leaders now, there's 6 riders: Jay, Emil, Jackson, Oxford, Kaiser, and Zihao. So for these 6 riders themselves, if I'm them, I won't really do anything until the last part. But it'd be interesting to see if anybody actually attempt to do any move at the next uphill. Okay, we can see here Jay is going forward. Okay, but it's a flat, fairly flat route, so we'll see whether does that last for Jay. And you can see the peloton actually catches up quite easily. So we can see now Emil is doing a counter attack, but I don't know, is it because he went too far and put in too much energy, so he's slightly he spring forward slightly. So we'll see how it goes. Now the pack is back together. So I think it's quite hard to actually make any move on the flat in this Training Peaks Virtual, because any move you make can actually be closed by the rest of the rider quite easily. So here we can see that Jackson has actually caught up again and closing the gap, and the peloton is still pretty much together, although the riders are pretty much kind of shrunk out at the moment. Okay, so now the question now is whether Kaiser, the last rider who has been struggling to keep up earlier, can now keep up with the main pack. So Kaiser is 1 second behind the rest, but 1 second is still pretty safe, and he's now back with the pack. And then now at the front we have Jay and Oxford. And as you can see on the map at the bottom of the screen, they're actually starting the uphill, a very gentle 3 to 4% climb, nothing very fancy. I don't think anybody will actually make any move at the moment. So we'll see how the riders actually continue. So we see that Oxford, he's at the front. Okay, Oxford, you can see he's actually going a bit harder now. He's bobbing his head, his body is shaking. Because of the slight uphill, that's why he's moving a bit more than usual. But on the game itself, Oxford and Jackson, they are now at the front of the leading pack. Okay, and to be honest, this hill is too short and too gentle for any move to stick, unless you are a very strong rider that you can punch out quite high, feel to max efforts. Otherwise you will be caught by the other riders in no time. Okay, and as you can see now, the riders they are back together, but Kaiser, let's look at Kaiser VSG06 on the game itself. He's within the peloton, he's still safe, but I think there's a couple of moments where he actually had to drop off later. Yeah, so I think Kaiser, he just finished his exams, I think. He actually hasn't been really riding much, and as you can see here, Kaiser, from his face, he should be done somewhat. So I think if anybody pull any attack, maybe that'll be the end of him. Okay, we'll see. So now there's a split route on the game itself. So in this map, there's a split. So the game auto decides where you go. Although there's steering, but the game controls most of it. So for the riders who are at the bottom, they don't have visibility of the riders at the top. So if let's say the pack actually go faster here at the top, then the riders at the bottom will actually lose out. But usually they will actually come back together again quite soon in this the junction afterwards. There is, to be honest, some slight gradient, but there's really not much difference. We have tested this split, whether you go the top or the bottom, you still end up together somewhat, unless you attend a breakaway during this split. Yeah, and as you can see now, we can see Oxford, he's slightly ahead, just 1 second ahead. He is going slightly faster now on the downhill. It could be that because he's pedaling a bit more, but it doesn't seem like it was an effort to actually attempt a breakaway. And now the riders are still pretty much strung out in the game itself, but the pack is still together. However, I think we can see that Kaiser and Zihao is now 3 seconds behind. I think it could be that could be it for them. So if Kaiser and Zihao doesn't close the gap now, they will never close again. Yeah. So now going back to the main pack. Okay, so we can see that Oxford, Jackson, Emil, Jay and Kaiser. Kaiser is just 2 seconds behind. So the first 4 riders, the leaders now, are now reduced to Jackson, Oxford, Emil and Jay. Okay, and good job Zihao and Kaiser, they have now bridged back to the main pack, but I think that should be about done for them already, I think. Okay, so now the riders now, I think somebody is attempting to make a move. So we see that Oxford is ahead. It could be just that they are pedaling a bit faster because they just want to catch back the peloton, because it's always hard to get used to virtual cycling because there's always a very slight lag when you put in the effort and when you stop. So you might still be ahead when you are actually stopping your effort. So the riders now, the 6 riders are back together. Kaiser is obviously at the back. I think if anybody makes a move now, I think Kaiser might be in a difficult position to actually catch back. So we can see now Kaiser, we don't know whether he's done actually. He is 2 seconds behind. And if he doesn't catch back now, then it's difficult for him to do so afterwards. Okay, and then now Kaiser has managed to bridge back. Come on, take it easy, don't pedal too hard. Yeah, I see Kaiser. Yeah, you can see he's opening his mouth to catch his breath. I think he's probably happy that he's back with the peloton. And now the riders are actually 17.8 km completed. They have 7.4 km more to go. Okay, so the riders are pretty much still together. Yeah. Yeah, so you can see now the riders, they are actually approaching the 20 km mark soon. Okay, and now the riders are still pretty much together except for Kaizen and Emil at the back. But it's quite common for them to be maybe 1 to 2 seconds behind as long as the gap doesn't continue. Because if they don't pace themselves correctly, then they might just slow down behind, but if they try and catch up, then they will spring all the way to the front again. So these 6 riders for today will likely be where the podium will come from. And to be honest, it's a very flat route. It will be a sprint uphill finish. Yeah. So the riders are still together and they are about to reach the 20 km mark. Okay, so we see now Oxford, he's at the front. Okay, so Oxford, I think he's making a move, but it could be unintentional, that it's just a short moment. So you can see now Oxford, okay, that's his cadence there. Okay, he's opening his mouth already to breathe compared to earlier, so I think he's serious now. Yeah, so but the riders are still pretty much together in the 6 of them. Okay, so we are approaching the climb soon, as you can see from the bottom of the map. I think there are probably, let's say, less than about 1 km more, or maybe less than 2 km to go before they hit the climb. So it'll be interesting to see who actually start attacking first and who actually follow and who can counter attack. So with our past experiences with this map is that the person who attacked first may not necessarily be the winner, but it's more about who has the energy to actually keep up all the way later. So the riders are still pretty much together. Okay, so now we can see here on the screen that's Kino. So well done to Kino for his effort earlier. And then now going back to the main pack. Okay, Oxford, he's at the front with Jackson, Kaiser, Emil, J, and Zihao. Okay, let's see. And you can see that the uphill is actually coming up soon. So that's the hill where they'll be climbing and finishing. So a long flat route before they actually start the climb afterwards. Okay, so these 6 riders, we'll see who will take the podium position for today. Okay, and they will start once they reach the island. That's where the uphill start. So they are on this very long bridge. As you can see on the game, waters on both sides. So we should be able to see some attacks from the riders soon. So they just have to climb all the way up afterwards. Okay, once they pass this mark, that's where the hill actually starts. Okay, the hill will start quite gentle at the start before it start to get quite steep. Okay, the hill has started. Let's see anybody will be making a move here. Alright, we can see that Emil is now ahead. Okay, Emil Garcia. Okay, he's making a move. And then now Jackson is actually catching up. Okay, many people are throwing multiple attacks, so it's a bit hard to follow. As you can see now, Oxford is going ahead. Okay, with Zihao, J. So I don't know whether the effort from Emil earlier would have been neutralized. Okay, they have about 2.6 km more to go. Okay, and it will a bit rolling, so if they have to do a breakaway, it'll be now, and then they have to go for the finals, otherwise it'll be a sprint finish at the end. So Oxford, okay, he is at the front now. Okay, bike number 5. Okay, Oxford Specialized Mavericks, he's now 2 seconds ahead of the rest. Okay, and he's now, you can see he's going in. Okay, you can see his mouth is open, he's gasping for breath. Okay, and on the game itself, he's 3 seconds ahead of the rest. And you can see now back to the game itself, Oxford is 4 seconds ahead of Jackson. Okay, and the rest are pretty much together in the chasing pack. So can the team actually work together to catch Oxford? If the attack from Oxford now doesn't stick, it will be likely a sprint finish already, because it's fairly rolling. There's one small slight uphill, but I don't think that will make any difference. So if he doesn't break away now, the pack will catch him afterwards. Okay, as you can see, they are slowly closing up on him. He's 4 seconds ahead, but will he be motivated to maintain the gap over 1.8 kilometers more to go? I think elevation wise, they should be almost done already. Maybe another 20 more meters to climb. So Oxford will have to make sure his attack earlier stick. Okay, and it seems that the pack has actually caught up with Oxford. So I think it could be a sprint finish. I don't know who will attack at the very small uphill afterwards. There's a slight, maybe 10 meter of, let's say, climb of, let's say, about 5 to 6%. But I don't think that will be enough to make any move stick. So we'll see how it goes. So the pack is pretty much together. I think if it comes down to a sprint finish, the heavier rider definitely will have a higher chance of completing the sprint. Okay, and we'll see now all the riders are together. They will be reaching the slight uphill soon. Okay, as you can see, this is the flame to show that it's 1 more km more to go. Okay, and they are now approaching the slight uphill, really very slight and gentle. There's actually not much difference that they can feel. Okay, we can see now Jay is moving, making the move. Okay, we can hear some shouting outside. Okay, so Jay now he's making the move. Okay, Jay, and we can see now Jay is going. Jay is 1 second ahead. Jay is 1 second ahead. He is 570 meters more to go. We'll see whether, oh, Kaiser has caught up. Kaiser has caught up. Okay, Kaiser has caught up. Kaiser, whom we thought will be dropped, has now caught up. It seems that there is 360 more meters to go. We have Jay and Kaiser ahead, 1 second ahead. Emil is behind with Oxford. Okay, will Jay be able to maintain the lead all the way to the end? And we can see now Oxford and Emil has now caught up. Okay, it's a very close finish. It's a very close finish. We see Oxford now. Oxford ahead. Oxford moving for the sprint finish. It looks like Oxford will get it. Oxford, come on, Oxford. Oxford followed by Jay and Kaiser. Well done, and Emil number 4. Well done to the riders. Well done to the riders. And then Jackson finished number 5, followed by number 6, Zihao from Team Garcia. So the first 6 riders have completed, and now we are looking at number 7, Kino, to finish with about 3 more kilometers more to go. Okay, well done to the leaders who have just completed. Okay, well done, very well done. Anyway, please stick around, because after this we'll have the podium ceremony immediately. So well done to all the riders.
Okay, cut ready, cut ready. Cut ready, cut ready.
Okay, so well done to the riders who have just completed. We are looking at Kino, okay, who is completing with 2.7 kilometer miles to go. Will Jacob, who is 20 seconds behind, and Tiger catch up with Kino? We'll see how it goes.
Wait, wait, wait. It's okay. Let me reset my first.
Okay, and now maybe let's look at how everybody is feeling outside in the room. You can see here. Okay, I think that is Colin, if I'm not wrong. Oh, sorry, that's Zihao. Yeah, Zihao. So you can see his head is down. Zihao finished number 6. Okay, just 9 seconds behind the winner Oxford. So well done, Zihao.
Do general shot.
Okay.
Do general shot. Sharon, do general shot.
And then now the rest of the riders who have completed, you can see behind him Jackson. Okay, sitting up.
Jackson
Okay,
behind
and
him.
Oxford. Okay, well done, Oxford. Okay, I think this proof that his move to specialized Mavericks. I mean, this is his first win for the team, I guess. Okay, and see some of the rest of the riders in the room. They are still completing the race. And Kino here, who is just 12 seconds ahead of Tiger. Okay, but whether will Tiger catch up with Kino afterwards, we'll see how it goes. Okay, so back to the game itself, we have Kino, Tiger, Jacob, Colin, and Eden.
Okay lah, off cam.
Okay, so we have Kino with about 2 more kilometers more to go.
You're live right now. Camera on here.
Okay, and as you can see, the riders who have completed, okay, they are resting now actually.
Camera cut ready. Okay, off cam.
Yeah, and then we have Kino, Tiger. I think Tiger will likely catch up with Kino. And then they are both from VSG Academy. And then Jacob from Singapore Sports School, who is slightly behind.
Yeah, you can off face one. Because it was good finish.
Yeah, so we are looking at the riders that are completing now. We have Kino, who have 1.3 kilometers more to go, and Tiger, who is just 11 seconds behind.
Get ready to turn on the cam.
Yeah, so the riders are slowly finishing.
You on your cam, we don't have it. Sure.
Yeah, so Kino is still ahead with 1 more km to go. As you can see, the flame is approaching. Yeah. Okay, so I think likely the race will be ended once Jacob finished the race. So we have Kino and Tiger. So will Tiger be able to catch up with Kino with 7 seconds more to go over 700 meters? Okay, we'll see how it goes. Okay, so 500 more, less than 500 more meters to go. Okay, 300 more meters to go. Okay, so we'll see Kino that will be finishing now. Okay, and then we have well done Kino. Yeah, so Kino has completed. Okay, well done Kino. Okay, good effort and for today to stick with the pack. And then we have Tiger who is now completing. Tiger 09 completing as well for today. Well done Tiger. Okay, and then we have Jacob who will be finishing as well. Okay, so yeah, Jacob is now crossing the line and don't stay around, so we will actually prepare the ceremony now. Okay, so we'll temporarily pause the live stream while we set up the podium ceremony, so stick around.
Let's play a different game. Fire it all up again. Fire up my heart again. For me to lose, I know I'm the one to stay. I'll run away again, running away again, till I see that you. swear I'll spend it loving you. I swear I'll spend it loving you.
You're doing an amazing job, not only with these nationals, but putting on such a great calendar. And I think it's pretty exciting times ahead as we try and make this as popular as possible to really push for this event to be included in the SEA Games in 2029. So well done to Jordan and Virtual Cycling. It was great to come here. I only saw the last part of the youth race today, really competitive. Everybody really trying hard, so well done to the competitors. And also well done to the teams as well that are represented here. You're doing a great job in the development of youth and junior cycling in Singapore. So well done to the teams and their supporters. And look forward to the presentation.
Alright, thank you, Shane. So without further ado, so thanks everyone for coming down today to join the men's youth race. So today we'll have the podium ceremony for the top 3. So in the second runner-up, we have Kaiser from BNG Academy. In first runner-up, second position, we have Jay from Team Garcia. And the champion for today is none other than Oxford from Specialized Mavericks.
Well done.
Try to keep to the podium. During the program.
Alright, so once again, round of applause for our podium leaders.
Alright, can everybody look here? 1, 2, and 3. One more. 1, 2, 3.
Alright, otherwise, thank you. Please keep the place clean. Whoever need to shower.
One more time.
And then for those who need to weigh in, you are faster weigh in.
Yeah. Too much room.
The race for the junior has been delayed to about 9:50, so make sure you weigh in as soon as possible. Alright, well done.
This whole until I'm sure she's there. Okay, now slowly do in general. Yeah.